Welcome to Shom Machshav on the Daf. We're holding in Chulin Daf Lamed Aleph. The Gemara at the end of Amud Aleph says that maybe Chulin does need to have Kavanah. And the case of a Gal Shenitlash, you have a wave that came out, we're talking about B'Yoshu Mitzape. A person is waiting for the wave to come. And if he's waiting for the wave to come, that's enough of Kavanah. And the Gemara continues in the end of Amud Beis and says that if a woman Nensa V'Tovla, she was put into the mikvah, if her friend is putting her into the mikvah, it's a Kavanah Me'al Yisai. And the Shara V'Tshuva Sefer Torah Lishmo of the Ben Ish Chai, in Siman Yud Zayin, there's a question that was asked in the Ben Ish Chai. They said like this: Tefilla, the whole idea of Tefilla is Kavanah. Chazal say Tefilla b'loi Kavanah is keguf b'loi neshama. So I have Tefilla with not Kavanah, I'm missing the Ikar Tefilla. Someone who's davening without Kavanah, do you say that the Tefillah is worthless? And in addition, they ask the following: someone who davens but doesn't have the Kavanahs of the Zoyar and the Arizal, which we know that's the Ikar Kavanahs. He's just doing Pashup Shat Tefillah. So aren't you missing here in the Ikar Tefillah? Because he's not doing the Tefillah b'Shleimus. So you want to tell me that most Am Yisrael, that's what's happening? They don't really have a good Tefillah? That's what they asked the Ben Ish Chai. So the Ben Ish Chai answers that any Tefillah is accepted, even Tefillah that is missing Kavanah, it's still accepted. He brings the Zoyar and Parashat Vayechi, that a person is misader, the Shavacho, the Marei, even though he's missing the Kavanah, it's still something that's accepted. And he goes on to say that yes, the Ikar person is able to, he should learn Tefillah with Kavanahs of the Kabbalah. But if a person is not able to, it is not on that level, still Tfiloisov u'mitzvoisov shleimus bevadai ve'einam chaseris. And he brings the Zohar Pashas Yisro that says it, speaks about this inyan, that a person has to come and do his best, but whatever you do, it's still miskabel b'shleimus. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what he wants is libo v'reuso de barnash, meaning the heart and the rotzen. As long as a person really wants to get close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's enough. So, and he brings, the Zohar says that that's what David Melech davened for. Umasei odeinu konenei oleinu. So he says, please have our Ma'aseh Yadayim should be okay, even if we don't have the proper Kavanah. Says that's why the Kadmonim say that before a person does a mitzvah, before Tefillah, a person should say the pasuk V'hi Noyam, because there it says, Maseh Adin Konei Oleinu, it's the davening of David HaMelech who davened for this, that even without the proper Kavanah, still the Tefillah and the mitzvah should be miskabel. And that's the idea of the hirotzoins that we say, that a person should have Kavanah to say that he's mechaven la'asos ha-mitzvah kishet tzivon asher yisbarach b'Torah HaKadoshah. So as long as a person does his best as being miskabel, and then he adds, he brings the tshuva from Chaim ben Rabbeinu Yitzchok. He says that one of the Rishonim, Sheroiv Hagoyes Oshri, in the Rosh, comes from him. And because it's a Ksav Yad, it's a manuscript, I'm gonna come and copy it, says the Ben Ish Chai. And this tshuva of the Rishonim brings our Gemara. And he says, you see over here, the person is waiting for a wave to come, that works. Even though the wave doesn't have Kavanah, the person waiting for the wave, that's good enough. But the person just looks at the wave, the Kavanah works. Similarly, regarding the Nida, that who's going to the mikveh, if her friends put her into the mikveh, it's a Tefillah Me'al Yasa. So brings the Ben Ish Chai and says, Umizeh haya lo imed moiriza lo du mikavochemer. From this, you learn kavochemer. Imachshaves acheri mehanyo. If a machshava of others works, kol sheken kavanosoy machshavosoy yizborach kivyochel. Meaning, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has kavanah to accept our tefillah should work. So even though we don't have the kavanah, the side of Torah of the tefillah and mitzvah, but everything is coming from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's the idea of V'hi Noyam Hashem Elokeinu Aleinu. Hashem Elokeinu and Ni'imu should come on us. Or whatever we do should be effective. Because the HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Kivyochel Kavanah should work for us. Because the same way we find in our sugya, the Kavanah of others works. So the Kavanah that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to accept our tefillah should work for us even though we don't have the proper Kavanah. Dvarim nifloim yoid from Baal Ben Ish Chai. Anyone who wants to join or sponsor the Shom Machshava Shiurim, please email shommachshava@gmail.com.